Hello, gang. A little late getting this out today. I've been busy over at a buddy of mine's house. Hang on, my focus is freaking out. We'll try to get it to stay where it's supposed to stay, but doesn't always cooperate, as you all know. Been over to a buddy of mine's house, helping him out. He's suffering from the Chinese flu. So, that's where I've been. Then I got back over here to the shop and then catching up on some few things that I should have done today. And that made this late. So, I apologize. What are we smoking today? This is a Don Pepin Garcia. Handmade, supposedly. I've never seen them made, so I don't know if that's true or not. You know how advertising is. I don't even know where to go with today, be honest with you. They give me so much material. By they, I mean everybody else on the planet. Man, one of the things, you guys probably ought to go back and check out my Cigar and Whiskey talk over intellectual dishonesty. I don't remember exactly how long ago that was. Been a while, though. That's one of the things that's kind of torquing me off today. As usual, the left's after guns. And nothing's really changed on that. But it's one of those things where, you know, the normal stuff, it's one of those, let's push through some stuff while some other stuff's going on, and maybe they'll ignore this stuff. That's one good cork. Little toxic masculinity today. You guys have seen this before. And I have to tell you, this stuff is really good. I'm liking it a little too much. So, yeah, well, it happens. Anyway, I was reading an article earlier that was basically, there's absolutely no such thing as a responsible gun owner. It's impossible. And that was this clown's take on how to get rid of guns. There's no such thing as responsible gun ownership. You know, if we want to go that way, there's no such thing as responsible vehicle ownership. Because a heck of a lot more people get killed by vehicles than guns every year. So, all I'm saying, this is one of those slippery slopes, and that's where intellectual dishonesty comes in. We all know that this guy knows there's a lot deadlier stuff out there than firearms being owned by private citizens. And he knows. There's no way he doesn't know. And instead of doing anything to take care of that, it's one of those, well, you know, guns are my pet project. So we're gonna say guns. You know, it's kind of like plastic straws. Plastic straws are killing the entire environment. It's the only thing that's killing the environment because it's all we care about. Well, we got to get rid of plastic straws. Got to get rid of plastic straws. No mention of the 16-ounce plastic cup that the plastic straw is sitting in. Intellectual dishonesty. I guess that's maybe what this is about today. So maybe you don't have to go back and see the old. Just ridiculous, the kind of stuff that is being thrown at us. And it's our fault. I'll be honest with you, it's our fault. Because for years we sat back and thought, there is no way anybody's buying any of this nonsense. We were wrong. There's a lot of, like Rush Limbaugh called them, young heads full of mush. There's a lot of folks like that who are buying into this stuff because they're not taught the alternatives. You know, it's one of those things where it's the sleight of hand kind of thing. It's one of those, this is our view, never mind the opposing view over here. We'll just move that off camera so you can't see that. Never mind the opposing view. There's no way possible that those guys are right because we're not going to make enough money off this one over here. So, you know. It's one of those days where I'm not sad, I'm just disappointed. Or I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I am sad. Just disappointed, you know. I'm not mad, son, I'm just disappointed. That's where I'm at today. That's really where I'm at. Been getting a lot of comments and messages and things like that over the last few videos. Apparently I've touched some nerves. And here's the only thing that I really have to say. It might not be all I say, but it's the only thing I really have to say. This is the beauty of America. You don't have to agree with me. I know that things have happened over the last 75, 50 years that have fundamentally changed some things like freedom of speech and what's considered speech and other things. I understand that. That doesn't make it right. If you're going to cite things that have changed, that made something legal, doesn't necessarily mean it made it right. And the beauty of America is we don't have to agree. One of us can be wrong. Or maybe both of us, depending on your point of view. I don't want to sound callous or thing, but it really doesn't matter to me whether you agree with me or not. I'm not here to have you agree with me. I'm just here to say things, and maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Maybe they hit a chord with you, maybe they don't. I'll be perfectly honest with you. The people who vehemently would disagree with everything I had to say will never see this, because this is not a YouTube channel they would stop on. Just to say that they wouldn't stop here. Just like if they're driving down the road, they're not going to stop for directions to the guy flying the Confederate flag. Just saying. Yeah, we don't have to agree. But you do have to be civil about it. Especially those of you who are sending me some private messages that might get read right here on this channel. If you want to have a different opinion than I do, please have at it. Have at it. No skin off my butt. None whatsoever. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. It shouldn't bother you that much if I don't agree with you. I've got no influence in your life, and quite frankly, you probably have no influence in mine. One of those hazards of marketing, you know, I put all the links to all my other accounts in the description of the videos. That way people can go find the other accounts, but when they go find the other accounts, they can also message me from those accounts. The ones that will actually take messages. And those of you that do agree, thank you. I appreciate that. Just make sure you agree for the right reasons. Don't agree just because I said it. Agree because it's right. Go do your own research. Figure things out. There's not enough people that do that stuff anymore. The modern news agencies are a perfect example. We've talked about this before. You go and look at an article, and the headline says something, and it's some little shock jock kind of thing, because everybody wants to be a shock jock now. I remember when, Howard Stern was probably one of the first. Those guys. There were a few before him, but Howard was probably the best known shock jock kind of guy. And everybody wants to be a shock jock now because they blast something at you, but then you go read the article or watch the story or whatever it is, and it's complete. The article or the video story says something completely different than what the headline said. It's kind of like the recap after debates and things that go on and games and all that kind of stuff. I was watching a presidential debate a few years ago, and it was funny because I normally tune off way before the recap, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, the last couple of races I haven't watched any presidential debates because it was just going to be picking at each other and not a lot of substance. But I watched this recap on this debate. It's been several cycles ago. Let's just put it that way. And at the recap, they were talking to each other, and I had just watched the debate, so I know what was said. Okay, and one of the commentators turns to the other one and said, "So, what do you think his position is on this?" And the commentator said, "Oh, definitely against that." When the actual question during the debate is, "Are you for this or against this?" the answer was for. It was one of those nice, short, simple answers that you almost never see in a debate. Straightforward. And the commentator said exactly the opposite. Now, there are people who tuned in to the end because they didn't want to watch the debate either. They just wanted to watch the recap to get it quick and condensed. And those people now, they thought, "Oh, against. Wow." Have to be so careful nowadays. Do your own research. Get the whole story. Or at least as much of it as you can. So, I'll be honest. I probably ought to just cut this off right here. I've got some laser work to do. So, I think I'm going to go do that. Was at the school this last weekend for Ham Radio Winter Field Day. It went well. About half the people who were going to show up decided they didn't want to show up because the weather turned bad. But a good time was had by all who went. So, yeah, we'll just close it right there. Thanks for your views. Thanks for your support. Thanks for supporting my friends on my main page channel. They're listed there. Hope to see y'all out in the woods, out and about. Check my schedule on Salty Dog Outdoors on Facebook to see where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be places. And if you want to stop by and heckle me or something like that, have at it. Don't be mean. Don't throw things. Don't throw things. Don't launch anything at me. Don't do that because I'm old. I don't dodge nearly as good as I used to anymore. Talk to y'all later. Don Pepin Garcia, Toxic Masculinity. Have a good one.